article at? I think I passed it. Oh yeah, here it goes. Now check this out, you guys. The dating game. The century ahead. Love and marriage will be dangerous sports, a humorist predicts. See now, this lady, I believe it's a lady, it could be a guy, but by Merrill Markoe, right? They call himself a humorist. So this is supposed to be a humorous little skit about the future and what the dating game would be like. So I'm gonna go ahead and read this out to you here. Let me see. The next century will be a time of many informational breakthroughs. Most notably, the battle between the sexes will take on a new complexion because it will be scientifically documented that men and women are completely different species of animals. Not unlike, say, hyenas and pumas, although there will be a lot of heated arguments about who gets to be the pumas, right? Once everyone accepts that we're speaking different languages, a computer system will be developed that allows instantaneous intersexual communication to occur. For the first time, certain simple but formally bewildering transactions will become clear. At the end of an evening out, when the single man of the future says to his date, "I had a nice time, I'll call you," I predict that men will still be using this line. The woman to whom he is speaking will immediately hear in her headset what he means is that while he thinks you are attractive, he's concerned that you already have expectations of him that he will never be able to meet. He's associating you with his needy, castrating mother because she had the same hair color as yours. You see what it's saying here? It's saying that there's going to be like a Bluetooth in your ear that'll tell you all about a person once you meet them. You know, these wild imaginations and stuff of people back in the 90s is crazy. Look, by this time, sex and dating will be so dangerous, owing to the numerous rampant communicable diseases and personality disorders, that they will be attempted only by the kind of thrill seekers who now do the things like bungee jumping, sky surfing, and eating at Denny's. By the year 2020, in fact, casual dating will be a popular arena sport. People too terrified to pursue something so hazardous themselves will witness actual live human beings who, for big money stakes, will eat dinner with, and then perhaps, if dinner goes well, become intimate with people they are attracted to, but basically know nothing about. Because the average person will be far too cautious to risk even a single totally worthless encounter, we will see the transformation of the medical clinic into a kind of after-hours meeting place where nervous but lonely people will be able to undergo a battery of health tests, and while awaiting the results, stop by the bar to enjoy a trendy snack with others who may have the same ailment. I predict that honey-roasted songbirds will be the snack of choice by then, because they will turn out to be the last remaining edible creature that is domestically plentiful, low in fat, and still has not been made into a trendy snack item. All of this escalating terror will oddly increase the number of marriages taking place, even though we will see the divorce rate rise from 1 in 2 marriages to 2 in 2 marriages. These alarming statistics will cause the birth of a new nuptial tradition. Savvy couples will create the most intimate bond 2 people can share by agreeing to get married and divorced simultaneously. At that point, they will possess so much file data about each other that they will negotiate in advance the terms of every day they plan to spend together, deciding what annoying habits they are willing to tolerate and, more important, what personal details each one will permit the other to use, either in court or in the eventual tell-all book. "Look at me cross-eyed" could emerge as the most common charge of misconduct in the personal nuisance suits that will clog the legal system. Hey, you know, that's what's going on right now. There's, you know, with all the LGBT stuff going on, and, you know, they're creating all these categories for people, you know, so if one person feels like another, you know, if they felt like they were double-crossed or whatever, you know what I'm saying, that they can sue. And that's what's going on. Our legal system is getting clogged right now with all these sexual discrimination lawsuits and stuff, you know. So check this out. This is what I wanted to get to right here, because this is, it's like she's telling the truth here. Watch. Playing into that will be the amount of specific evidence people will have accumulated about each other as compulsive video documentation. This is all about, this article has everything to do with the reality television that took over TV, right? Reality shows. And starting from the 90s on, you know, check it out. Playing right into that will be the amount of specific evidence people will have accumulated about each other as compulsive video documentation. Becomes the most common new addiction. By the year 2010, TV networks will decide to give all video equipment owners a shot at their own show as long as they promise to supply footage that is extremely disturbing. Recorded evidence of violence and malicious mayhem will draw such astronomical sums that criminals contemplating an illegal activity will consult with movie developers during the important planning stages of the crime. Now check this out. Let me stop right there real fast. Who did Jared Kushner just hire in the White House? Do you guys know who I'm talking about? He hired a movie director that did the Purge. Yeah, Jared Kushner hired some movie director that did the movie The Purge and a bunch of other movies. And just think about it. The whole Las Vegas thing. Jared Kushner hires some movie guy. Then the next breaking news you see is Las Vegas mass shooting, you know. Biggest one in U.S. history. You know what I mean? Meryl Marco is telling us back in 1992 what's gonna happen with what's going on TV and everything. So, I mean, look at this. It says, recorded evidence of violence and malicious mayhem will draw such astronomical sums that criminals contemplating an illegal activity will consult with movie developers during the important planning stages of the crime. They will thus make sure that the approach they are taking with regard to plot and details is the one that will have the best eventual effect on sales figures and marketing potential.
Breitbart News is reporting that the president's son-in-law and senior White House advisor Jared Kushner has secured a top Hollywood public relations executive for a key position in the White House. Josh Raffel is a 32-year-old communications executive at Blumhouse Productions. Blumhouse is known for producing horror films such as The Purge and Insidious. One of Kushner's many roles is having the responsibility of overseeing the Office of American Innovation. And according to Variety, Raffel is being tapped for a position on that team.
Crazy, huh? I just saw the comment. Let's see. Lush freaks me out. I get bad vibes from just looking at his pictures. Straight up. Are we back on? I got disconnected there for a second, everybody. All right. Now that wasn't the most important part that I wanted to get to there. And if you guys could hear me, let me know real fast. Let me see. Show live chat. Okay. Now check this out. This is the part that I wanted to get to. All right, I see you, sis. Got you back in. Let's see here. Compulsive video documentation. Okay. Marketing potential. This blurring of the line between life and entertainment will culminate in a scandal when a giant underground facility is discovered in the Midwest. What's in the Midwest? Is Colorado in the Midwest? Like Denver Airport? You know? This blurring of the line between life and entertainment will culminate in a scandal when a giant underground facility is discovered in the Midwest that is being used as a breeding lab by desperate talk show producers who have been completely out of new guests since the mid-1990s. It will be discovered that the producers have been assembling affable humanoids from the fat, tissue, bone, and spare parts of celebrities who have undergone a lot of plastic surgery, training the guest to cultivate zany or inappropriate hobbies and schooling them in how to tell 10 different 15-minute anecdotes about themselves. This will constitute their entire lifespan, after which they will be melted down and reworked for an additional booking.
In 1958, in a small lab at Oxford University, a biological revolution was born. A young scientist called John Gurdon cloned an animal from a single cell for the first time in history. Gurdon successfully transplanted the nuclei from tadpoles into egg cells to create an exact copy of a frog. Dozens of animal species have been cloned since Gurdon's breakthrough, from mice and rabbits to dogs, monkeys, and most famously sheep, when Dolly became the first animal to be cloned from an adult cell in 1996. But for some, that's not enough. Ever since Gurdon's first successful cloning back in 1958, scientists have marveled at the possibility of cloning humans. The enormity of this feat cannot be understated. To clone people, biologists face the challenge of harvesting precious human eggs and sustaining a healthy egg cell nucleus with the correct protein so it can survive and grow. In 2009, controversial Dr. Panayotis Zavos claimed to have implanted 11 cloned embryos into the wombs of 4 women. The pregnancies never took, and without enough satisfactory evidence, Zavos's work was dismissed as a publicity stunt. That same year, embryologist Severino Antinori went one step further when he claimed to have cloned 3 children. Antinori too was shunned for unethical practices and making false claims. But in 2013, a team of biologists led by Dr. Mitalipov in Oregon, USA, produced embryonic clones of a human being. After decades of failed attempts, science had finally committed the ultimate taboo. Using a technique called somatic cell nuclear transfer, biologists took the nuclei from human skin cells and transplanted them into eggs that had been stripped of their genetic material. The embryos weren't allowed to fully develop, but Mitalipov's experiment proved something monumental. Human cloning is, indeed, biologically possible. But some believe it's already happened. In 1995, scientists James Roble and Jose Cibelli transplanted some of Cibelli's cells into a cow's ovum to harvest stem cells. When the fertilized egg began to divide, Dr. Roble and Cibelli allowed the egg to reach the 32-cell stage before destroying it, which means that Cibelli's cloned embryo was close to becoming a fetus. Left to grow, Cibelli would have created his own lab-grown twin. Unbelievably, Roble and Cibelli's story only made it into a handful of newspapers. Some, like author Russ Kick, believe that because human cloning is such a contentious subject, the scientific community don't want to reveal that it's already happened. Even Dolly the sheep was over 6 months old when the scientists announced the successful cloning of her. But playing God is not without its consequences. Medically speaking, therapeutic cloning can provide new cells for organs, but religious and secular groups alike have criticized the procedure for its abuse of animal life and the frightening implications that it could have on society. For example, parents in mourning could be given the chance to clone their dead child to make them live again. Infertile or same-sex couples wanting genetic offspring might clone themselves as a form of fertility treatment. And if reproductive lines branch past first and second clone generations, then mistaken identity could become a serious issue. For anti-cloning activists, the good news is that current law prevents biologists from growing embryos after 9 days, so the human gene pool is safe, for now. But what is fascinating about our fear of human cloning is how much it parallels the hysteria that once surrounded in vitro fertilization. When the first test tube babies were born in the 1970s, people feared the lab-grown child. Today, 350,000 babies are born using assisted reproductive technology each year. As scientific methods improve and the concept of cloning is normalized, then perhaps one day human clones will be walking among us.
The most disturbing.
Yes, it's going to be a bold new world, full of brand new dysfunctions, addictions, and disorders. A million new things to worry about, but that's progress. Right? Ain't that crazy, y'all? They just told us exactly what's going on with the reality TV show stuff going on, with the Nicki Minaj clones, and you know what I mean? All these celebrity clones that everybody's seeing that, you know, some people might say they're reptilians. This person is saying that they're affable humanoids that were made from fat and tissue and bones of celebrities who have undergone plastic surgery. Just think about how many people are doing plastic surgery, and all that human flesh that they pull out of people's bodies and stuff. They probably are making people out of that stuff, you know what I mean? So I just thought that was a very interesting article right there to share with you. So if you guys missed it, if you're just now joining the live stream, go ahead and when we're finished, you can watch this all over again, or you might be able to rewind it while I'm live, so you could get caught up. But this magazine is just crazy, y'all. So I just thought I'd share that with you.